feel the way I do.
And away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun. They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck. Hello, and welcome to PPR's PC Division 2. We've got a big ol' race in store for you tonight. We're going to go ahead and just quickly adjust these mic levels. We've just recently installed a new broadcasting software, so we're hoping it's smooth. Please let me know in the chat how the levels are throughout the course of this race. But for now, we're going to hop on board with Only Use My Dad, who had an outstanding week last time around as he starts his flying lap now on those soft compound tires. Pretty cloudy out here today. We'll see if rain is a factor throughout this qualifying session. But for now, it's looking quite all right as he comes into turn one, hard on the brakes, down to third gear to clip in. Sure if him getting out the way nice and easy. He's staying really wide here for this big left-hander. Up into seventh gear, towards the middle of the track now. Up to eighth now, down to fifth gear, fourth to bite in. Get a little notification there. Skybits, our boy, back on it. He rounds into sector 2, cutting a lot of the curve here as much as possible. We are indeed streaming in 1080p, so if you go to that settings button down on the YouTube channel, you can change up that resolution, get some high res action in full HD. As Only Use My Dad hops into sector 3 now, keeping it nice and tidy so far. See what kind of lap he can set. A lot of our drivers, we're looking to set some banker laps without invalidating here, because getting a good lap down and keeping it valid is quite difficult with all these corners being so flat. He rounds the final corner now. He's out of ERS across the line. What can he do? 133 flat, so solid start there so far. Looks like our next driver, Squirmy, up to the line. We'll see what he can do. Looks like he'll go with a 133.6, so we got the racing point of also Ramacron. We'll go P1 with a 32.8, so we try to catch him as he goes across the line. Race at 33, I believe. Now coming up to the line as he rounds the final corner. We'll see what he can do. He goes P4 with a 33.7. Looks like BTFU's on his out lap, but the Ferrari of Jeb is starting his lap as well. Looks like MRL Matt has coming in the pits. The Haas, though, of Eduardo Andretti rounding the final corner for his first lap. He'll cross the line P5 with a 35.6. Looks like MRL Matt cruising around into the final corner. He's definitely got some pace to get up there. Looks like he'll be starting his lap now. May have invalidated the previous one. We've got the Skyward Atlas Alfa Romeo rounding the final corner as well. Across the line goes P5. We've got Kermit and Gabe coming up to the line. Both runners going P5 and 6. Kermit with a 34.4. Now we've got Custom coming up to the line as well. Plenty of drivers on track. Rounds the final corner. Goes P1 with a 32.3. Looks like Enzo got in there with a 34.0. The racing point now diving into the pits. Looks like we've got Strifium trying to set his first lap of the day. People all setting their laps out now. It's going to be a lot of drivers in as he rounds the final corner. Comes across the line. What can he do for McLaren? Goes P6 with a 33.8. So solid banker laps here. A lot of drivers not invalidating, which is good to see. Meanwhile, we've got, I believe, the Ferrari New Zealand Jeb coming up to the line. We'll see what he can do. The one-handed master on pad goes P9 with a 35 flat, so decent lap there by him. Looks like Dot Thou Hoist has retired, as well as Henners. Not sure if they possibly have a qualifying ban. I'm unaware of the current standings in terms of penalty points. Matt dives into the pits, so he'll get a fresh set of tires. Looks like Mr. Dream, James Trotter, a.k.a. Bestion, setting his flying lap now after possibly invalidating the first couple. Tiger Racing also in the pits. We'll see if he decides to come out or if he's also serving a qualifying ban. I'm unsure of that as well. For now, it looks like James Trotter is the only one on a flying lap at the moment. Everyone else is coming back in to switch out their tires for a fresh set of softs. Of course, James Trotter and Jeb, both of our main blog writers for PPR, have a bet this evening. Basically, whoever finishes better this race has to write a blog, or gets to choose a topic for the loser to write a blog about. So that'll be one to watch. We also have Skybits up in here, one of our OG PC Division 2 drivers who had to drop out, unfortunately, but he's come back to reserve. So we'll see how he can do. He's currently in the pits. Looks like he's having trouble staying connected to the session. Jeb improves to P8 now, 34.4, up a couple spots after that next lap. Squirmy is disqualified from the session. I'm not sure where exactly he was. Possibly in the pit lane. He's in that Red Bull. Looks like he's rounding the final corner. Not sure what happened there, but we'll go back on with James Trotter. Not really sure how he got disqualified. Up to the line, he goes P7 with a 34.3, so just ahead of Jeb there in P8. This is sure to be a spicy battle now, as we'll watch these two battle it out. Looks like, according to our Discord server, Squirmy wasn't paying attention and spun a bit. So there you have it. A lot of drivers coming on their outlap now for their next lap. We'll see who comes up to the line first. Looks like BTFU has yet to set a time. Definitely a contender for pole, so we'll see what he can do. Everyone seeming to opt for the softs here. Jeb on the mediums, though. So definitely room for improvement. Looks like Mexena is going to try and set a lap. He goes P7 with a 34.2. Looks like Tiger Racing is on his out lap now. Race 33 on a flyer as well. Looks like BTFU just starting his lap now. First official lap for him. Mexena also on a flyer, trying to find people who are currently on their hot lap. Looks like a lot of people are coming out at the moment. Looks like now race at 33. Sorry, his teammate Skyward Atlas is on an out lap, as well as Custom. Looks like Only Use My Dad indeed will be the next person to set a lap time as he comes up to the final couple corners, making it careful not to invalidate. Goes P2 with 32.5. Decent lap there. Looks like Tiger Racing starting his flying lap now, so we'll see how he does. Sherfium starting his flying lap. BTFU, though, coming up to the line. We'll see what he can do. Race at 33, also setting a lap. We'll see what he can do. Stays P4 at the moment, but here comes BTFU. We'll watch Gabe and see if he can improve his lap time. He does not. BTFU goes P1 with a 32.2, so decent lap there by him. I'm sure we can see these drivers get into 31s. I know our D1s drivers got into the 30s, so we'll see if these guys can step up their game, really set some flying lap times. Looks like the racing point there. Vromicron goes P1 with a 32.2, so lap time's getting quicker and quicker here. Looks like MRL Matt is coming across the line and will be starting his flying lap. Custom looking to improve on his previous time as he comes around the final couple corners. Looking to nag at that pole. He does with a 32.1, so times are dropping here as we can see lap after lap. Looks like the Alfa Romeo of race 33. Sorry. Skyward Atlas starting his lap. Some drivers diving into the pits now. We've got 6 minutes left in this qualifying session. Plenty of time to make things happen. Striffin looks like he's on his out lap, but according to his ERS, he's on his hot lap. May have invalidated it, so we'll see what he can do. Tiger Racing up to the line. Looks like he's starting another flying lap now. Kermit crossing the line. He goes P5 with a 32.6, so very nice lap there from him. Great to see our Renault driver in the top 5 at the moment, but plenty more time to go, so a lot of things can change here. Looks like Enzo's into the final sector on his flyer, as you watch him cruise into the final couple corners. See if he can improve that lap time of a 34 flat, break into the 33s. We'll see as he crosses the line. He goes 33.8, but does not improve any positions. Matt goes 32.7 with a P6. It looks like Skybits starting his flying lap now. Custom will be diving into the pits. Looks like Skyward Atlas is the next on a flyer. Just running out of ERS now. Up to the line. Can he break that top 10? He can. P9 with a 33.4. Everyone's getting quicker and quicker now, as we see Mexena preparing for a lap with the Red Bull of, I believe, James Trotter right behind. They'll be starting a flyer. Looks like Striffium's coming back into the pits now. Tiger Racing on those mediums, looking to set a flyer. And he'll be down into the pits just as I say that. So he's the only one opting for the mediums at the moment. Looks like he's just getting some warm-up laps in perhaps. Maybe looking to start from the back. Hoping for some kind of safety car action. As it will dive into the pits. Looks like Skybits will as well, unless he's on a flyer. No, he is gonna go across the line here. We'll see if he can crack that top 10 after has yet to set a lap. Bit slow around the final corner. He goes P14 with a 34.6, so definitely room for improvement there. As we saw in the final corner, he had plenty of time to gain. We'll see if he can do any better this next time round. Skyward Atlas is opting for another flyer. I take that back. He's going to the pits, most definitely. Mercedes getting out the way. Mech Senna trying to set a quicker lap time now after setting a 34.2. We'll see if he can get into the 133s. As he rounds the final corner, comes up to the line. He goes P7 with his teammate, the 32.8. James Trotter does not improve his time. But the two Mercedes currently 6th and 7th at the moment. Looks like the Mercedes of Emerald Matt is cruising back in with that low fuel. Meanwhile, most of our drivers coming in for their final set of tires. Just over 2 minutes left in this qualifying session, so plenty of time left for drivers to get another quick lap out. Looks like Tiger is on the softs now, so he'll be going for his final lap. Looks like Jeb has started his final lap as well. His Ferrari teammate coming down the line. We'll see just who exactly is on their flying lap now. We see the Alfa Romeo coming into the pits. It looks like race to 33 there. Skybits is diving in the pits. He will not have time to go for another lap, so we'll see how that pans out. BTFU just exiting the pits now. He'll have plenty of time to set a lap at the final moment here, in this final stages. Striffium about to set his flying lap as well. Looks like James Trotter's, I believe, on a flyer. Got some guys behind him. He'll be diving in the pits, so that'll be his session over. We do have a couple of Renaults starting their final laps as well. Mexena is trying to get out of the way as quick as possible. Looking to find the next driver on a flyer. Looks like Jeb is. That Cody's telling me it's his out lap. Ends up doing a good job of getting out of the way. All these drivers getting stacked up now at the end, trying to get their laps in. Skybits has left the session again, unfortunately, so he's currently at P15. See if he can improve during the race. Jeb with the line goes P9 with a 33.2. Nice lap there by him. Eduardo Andretti up to the line now. We'll see what he can do. Stays about the same there. Race 33 up to the line to start his flyer. Timed it pretty well there. BTFU as well, rounding the final couple corners, going to start his lap. We'll stay focused though on the drivers that are just coming up the final sector. It looks like Only Use My Dad going to have barely any time just to start his flying lap. 20 seconds left here. Looks like Striffium is on a flyer now though. He's looking to set his time. Round the final corner he goes. Can he crack that top 10 even higher? He goes P9 with a 33.1. Here comes Emerald Matt across the line. The session has done. Skyward Atlas sets his lap time. Looks like Gabe is coming in the final sector, followed by a couple of racing points. See if Gabe can improve his time. He does P13, but not by much. Kermit will back out of that lap. But here comes Tiger Racing. Goes P9 with a 33.0. So hops up at the last second there. Jeb now rounding the final couple corners. Seeing if he can further extend his gap to James Trotter as he rounds the corner. Does not improve his time. Here comes Enzo, though. Does not improve his time either. We have Custom in the pit. Currently on pole still. No one can challenge him at the moment, it seems. But we do have BTFU, the last driver, really to challenge. Between him and Only Use My Dad, we'll see who can really do it here. BTFU across the line, takes pole with a 31.8, so he breaks into the 31s. But we do have the racing point of Only Use My Dad to possibly take him off. We'll see. Into the final sector now. And he'll dive into the pits, so he'll abandon this lap. So it's looking pretty good for BTFU at the moment. We'll see what he can do. Rounds the final corner, gets a little bit of a track extension there. Looks to be okay. Crosses the line. It will not count, so he'll stay P6. Striffium into the pits now. It looks like that will be it for our qualifying. So BTFU secures pole position. He's been on a hot streak lately. Did outstanding in qualifying and outstanding in the race. We'll see if he can keep that up. So far, it looks like a dry race at the moment. Custom in P2. The Racing Points have a nice team showing as they're P3 and 4 row Micron and Only Use My Dad on the second row. P5 is Kermit, so you can see Renault is stepping up their game lately. Kermit setting in a fire lap. 6 and 7 is the Mercedes of Matt and Senna. Race 33 in P8. Having an outstanding lap last time around in Singapore. Unfortunately, to be ruined by the safety car glitch. We'll hope that doesn't happen this time. So there you have it. BTFU on pole, followed by Custom. Got about 3/10 there off of the pole sitter. Micron just behind Custom, followed by Only Use My Dad in that Racing Point. Kermit sitting in the Renault in P5. That'll be your top 5 for qualifying. All to play for here in the race. We'll see what happens. Pretty close qualifying. You love to see it here at Russia. The key to this race will definitely be not cutting corners, because penalties are so easy to gain here. If you can stay with it, especially with a late safety car. Oh my goodness, speaking of penalties and corner cutting, one thing to make it more difficult will be rain. So currently raining at the moment. Looks like Inter's weather, but you can never tell too hard from the pit lane. We'll see what these drivers opt for as they now figure out their strategy. So it looks like, unfortunately, Dot Thou Hoist lost connection to Steam. Hopefully he can somehow get back in the session as quick as possible. The drivers choose their strategy. Would love to see a drying track. That always spices things up. Drivers will get underway for their formation lap. I'm going to take a quick break here and be back with you just before the start of the race. Here come our drivers on those intermediate tires. We'll throw up some data so you can see just exactly what they're all on. Looks like inters for now. Every single one of them. As they all make their way to the starting grid. PPR Squirmy, of course, getting that disqualification in qualifying. He'll be starting at the very back of the grid. Lovely shot of the middle of the third sector here. We love to see it once our drivers line up. A nice little break here once the game loads. There we are. Still love to see it. For 5 red lights. Lights out, and we're underway. Solid start from the Ferrari there. Gets around his teammate. Looks like BTFU is off to a solid start. The Racing Points side by side, it seems, at the moment. About to go 3 wide. Looks like into turn 3. Oh, looks like the Haas of Eduardo Andretti has lost it. They're coming in. The Renault going sideways. Racing Points, BTFU, everyone is round. Severe collision. Virtual safety car has been deployed. I'm not sure if anyone did retire. Complete carnage. It looks like a lot of drivers outbroke themselves and locked up, spun around, weren't used to the wet braking zones. The VSC is still active. Luckily, no retirements at the moment. Looks like Doth Thou Hoist just does not exist. These guys are just on the track, but nothing's happening. Meanwhile, Customs got a healthy lead. Striffium way up into P2 now after avoiding that carnage, it seems. So solid job by him. These drivers just not used to the wet, it seems. Doth Thou Hoist able to hop back in. Max Senna all the way up in P3. Kermit looks like he's up into P4. Henner's getting by him off the restart now. We're green back again. Henner's trying to make moves now, back up into P3. So ahead of Max Senna. Looks like Kermit is dropping down as he does have that wing damage, I believe. James Trotter up into P7 at the moment. Henner's battling it out with Senna as Striffium goes very deep into the sharp right-hander. See if he can hold it together. Hold off Henner's. As Customs trying to go away. Henner's trying to make it Williams 1-2 at the moment. Customs trying to get a big gap here. Just Striffium goes defensive. So they go into the final couple corners. Henner's up the inside, pushes Striffium wide. Plenty of space here, though. Striffium will try and get a better exit. Goes up the inside, switchback. Next center, right on the back of these guys. As there's plenty of time penalties to spare. Squirmy up to P10 already at the moment. Solid job by him. Hender's is up 17 places. Is that correct? That's insane if it is. He'll be my driver of the day for lap 1. What an opening lap from him. Getting by plenty of drivers. 5-second penalties galore. So half the field has had to pit, unfortunately. James Trotter in P5 at the moment. You'd love to see it. We'll see what kind of tires these guys are running on. They're going to opt for the mediums yet again. Striffium dropping back now from Henner's. Looks like Max Senna is trying to make a move on him as well. Staying nice and close. Looks like Gabe is on the back of the Haas here. A big old train at the moment. As we wait for our intervals to load so we can see just exactly what is happening. Max Senna trying to get around. As this train down from P3 is starting to form. Henner's pulling away, chasing after his Williams teammate. Williams in a solid position at the moment. Looking great. Striffium get a little squirrely out there. James Trotter staying right back, hoping to collect up some pieces here if anything does happen. Striffium going very deep there. Max Senna going up his outside. Gets the move done around the outside. Here comes James Trotter now on the back of Striffium. Striffium losing some positions here after that amazing start. The rain really playing a factor. Custom setting a 150. Henner setting a 149.8. So he's on the back now. Trying to close that gap to his teammate. James Trotter with an excellent run now. Plenty of ERS to spare. He's looking to go to the outside of Striffium as it goes side by side now into turn 2. We'll see who can break later. Looks like Trotter goes round the outside into turn 2. Gets the move done. Nice job by him there. Outbreaks the McLaren. We've got Tiger Racing though, trying to overtake Kermit, possibly up the inside. We'll see. He'll back off though. It's hard to take this corner flat in the wet. Got to be very careful on the throttle as your car could easily slide out. Looks like Eduardo Andretti has pit now. Our field very spread out between the people who did pit and the people who did not. They're going to be definitely hoping for a safety car, I am sure, as Dotthau Hoist is unable to rejoin his car, unfortunately, and will be out of the session. He said he did enjoy this track, so it's very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Tiger Racing trying to make some kind of move on Kermit as they come onto the back straight. No DRS at the moment due to the fact that it is sopping wet. Meanwhile, Henner's slowly closing that gap to Custom up in front. The Williams will be battling it out. Of course, none of these drivers in the back should ever give up due to the fact that safety cars are a thing and a possible drying track is a thing if weather permits. Kermit on the back of Enzo now looking for a move. BTFU on a charge back. Custom with a 149 and Henners with a 148. We'll watch as BTFU tries to charge his way back at the field, setting that pole lap time, but unfortunately falling victim to a turn 2 incident on his way back as Enzo's now getting passed by Kermit and possibly Tiger Racing. We'll see if he comes up and tries to make the move into turn 2. Up the inside he goes. Can't see anything with these camera angles. Gets the move done, so Enzo loses 2 spots in the span of 2 turns. Kermit, Tiger Racing get ahead. Meanwhile, James Trotter's sitting pretty in P4. Looking good out there. Ahead of his rival, Jeb, down in P12, who did have to pit. So we'll see what happens. Looks like Tiger Racing is ahead of Kermit now. May have made a mistake there. Tiger Racing on a charge now. He did an excellent job in our D1 race. Started from near the back, made his way all the way up to P6. He was our driver of the day. We'll see what he can do here. Looks like he's made up 3 positions now. Henner's still, though, doing a solid job after starting way down the order. And now he's right on the back of Custom, so he's prepared for this race. Looks like he may have a better setup here than Custom. We'll see what Claire Williams has to say about this upcoming battle. As they come into the final couple corners, Custom getting a nice exit there, pulling a bit away from Henners. Out of the final corner they come. Henners in that slipstream. Custom with a solid exit yet again. Looks like Henners will not be able to make the pass this time round. We'll see if anyone else can make the pass this time round. Romicron looking to make up moves now as he's trying to go in on Jeb. Jeb struggling there, trying to get around the corner on the inners. Romicron trying to do a little switcheroo action. Goes up the inside of Jeb now into this tight left-hander. They're side by side. They've touched now. They've made contact. Romicron's gone round. Jeb gets ahead. Looks like no one got damaged, luckily. There's the McLaren of BTFU backing off Romicron. All is well, though. Here we have, it seems to be Tiger Racing on Striffium. Striffium gets a little oversteer there. Striffium goes defensive now. They're going side by side into the corner. We'll see if Tiger can go around the outside. He does. Striffium will back off. Looks like Striffium has been struggling in the wet. We'll see if he can get some grip down on his car so he can make these corners properly. Squirmy on the move now, trying to make some moves on Enzo in that Red Bull. Starting in literally dead last up to P9 now, so solid drive from him, keeping out of danger so far. As we have Henners so close on the back of Custom. Nothing doing here. We'll see if they decide to make any sort of changes as they race around Squirmy. Maybe a bit too far back from Enzo. We'll see. He's in a Red Bull. He may make a late lunge, Danny Rick style. We'll see. He goes for it up the inside. Gets the move done. Nice job by him. Enzo right in the back, but nothing he can do about it, possibly. Unless he looks late on the brakes. Toro Rosso v Red Bull, very late there. Enzo goes very deep, and he may have just hit the wall. Looks like he still has his wings, so he avoided it. But the move, unfortunately, did not work out. Henner's on the back of Custom now, a little bit closer this time. We'll see if he can make some kind of lunge. Right on the back now. Henner's going wide there. Hopefully no corner cuts. Looks like penalties may be a huge factor here, but for now, nothing's happening. We got a battle for P12 at the moment. Romicron and BTFU, two of our top runners, trying to make their way back up the field as Romicron does a switchback on Jeb, gets ahead of the Ferrari. We'll get that move nice and easy. Let's see if BTFU can follow suit. You will not. Jeb's going to hold that. BTFU up the inside, though, as Jeb goes very deep. Jeb way off the track now. They're side by side. Jeb gets the move done. Back, but gets that 3-second time penalty. So, unfortunately, using the extent of track limits to try and make the move happen. Custom a little bit of oversteer there, locking up a bit. Henner's getting an excellent run now on Custom. As he goes to the outside now, into the corner, we'll see which Williams driver prevails. Henner's round the outside. They're side by side still as they come into the next sector. Looks like Henner's may be ahead. Custom has the better exit. They're still side by side going into sector 3 now. Henner's up the inside. Henner's gets a 3-second time penalty as they go side by side still. They're still side by side. Custom will have to back out, and Henner's takes the lead. We'll see if that was a worthy corner cut as they stayed side by side. Custom a lot of oversteer there. Hard on the brakes. Henner's off in the sunset now. He's almost pulled 2 seconds ahead, so that corner cut may have been very well worth it. We will see, though, as James Trotter is close on the back of Mexiceno. We'll see if anything can happen here. Looks like Kermit has dived in the pits. Could be possibly time for a new set of tires. We'll see. It looks like the rain may have stopped. Way too early for slicks at the moment. But for now, looks like most of our drivers are spread out. Closest battle looks to be, oh my goodness, Kermit is putting on mediums. It's crazy early for mediums in my opinion, but he could be playing the ultimate strat, hoping for some kind of safety car where he takes the lead. We'll see. Only use my dad on softs. He's gambling for something. Still plenty of water on the track, at least in my perspective. We'll see what happens here. James Trotter is closing in now as they're coming up to a back marker of Only Use My Dad, who's on those softs. He's struggling hard. These guys have to be hoping for a safety car. Looks like BTFU is pitting as well. They're pitting for dries as well. I guess they are very much hoping for something to happen. Yellow flag in sector 1. Oh no, I believe it's Kermit who has spun. He's lost his wing due to those medium tires. That is unfortunate to see after starting P5. Lots of standing water there, as you can see. Still not dry yet. James Trotter, though, trying to make some kind of moves. I doubt these leaders will pit yet. As you can see, the water spraying up. I take that back. Custom will go for it. Looks like Mexiceno is diving into the pits. Maybe too early to tell. We will see, though. James Trotter and Henners could be on the ultimate strategy at the moment as they're cruising now from Micron up into P10. Only Use My Dad gets a time penalty. Plenty of drivers opting for these dry tires. As looks like Enzo has pit as well. Squirmy up into P5, looking to make some moves now. Starting from P20, he's all the way up the grid. The racing point of Only Use My Dad behind him, hoping to God that this track dries up quicker than it already is. Ooh, gets a little bit oversteer, almost slides out, but saves it there, keeps it under control. Jeb has decided to pit, so half our field on drive, dries, half our field on wets. Looks like you can barely see the clouds breaking up a bit. Meanwhile, Hender's is still setting in some fire lap times. 10 seconds ahead of the next driver in P2. We'll see if Custom can make up some lap times here. DRS is still disabled, so that's a key indicator of whether it's dry or not. Looks like Romicron's getting... Oh, as Enzo has spun and hit the wall. He's lost his wing there. There is a yellow flag. We'll see if a VSC comes out, which could be crucial to our drivers who still need to pit. Looks like they're okay. Races 33 and P11. May catch up to Enzo here. Enzo's trying to get back to the pits now to change that wing, unfortunately. Mechsena is on the hard tires, so very interesting choice from him. Custom, Mavmekin. Jeb gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Oh my goodness. Custom goes wide, hits the wall. He may have lost his swing there. Oh my goodness gracious. Drivers unable to control themselves at the moment. Strifium diving to the pits. Squirmy continuing for yet another lap. I think our top 4 drivers at the moment have the correct choice, in my opinion, according to my view on the track. Of course, I have no idea how it feels, so my opinion could be nothing. But it still looks quite wet according to the spray from their tires. Squirmy slowly closing in on Tiger Racing. Jeb has retired from the session. Oh no! Where is he? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Safety car is out. This is huge for our wet runners at the moment. Jeb has retired. He's spun. Not entirely sure what happened. You may have just lost it. James Trotter currently P2 in prime position for this safety car as well as he enters the final sector. He'll be loving this now as he'll get to swap on for some dries. As there are so many time penalties being awarded, I have no idea what's going on anymore. There's going to be a huge change-up at the end now. I have no idea who will actually win this race and who will make the top 10. It's all to play for, especially with the safety car here. We'll see if Henners dives in the pits. I'm sure he will. Trying to maintain that delta without getting a penalty. Cruises into the pits now. He should be opting for mediums here if it stays dry for the rest of the race. Most of our drivers will. You can still see that spray of water though in the pit lane. So it's not completely dry yet. So for now, Henners leads the race. We'll see where he comes out in comparison to everyone else. He may still have the lead. Tiger Racing opting to pit. Squirmy as well. Strifium could inherit the lead. He may be a bit too far back. I think Henners will retain the lead. Emerald Matt has retired from the session. Where in God's name is he? Looks like he's dived in the pits. He's done. He's retired in the pits. Custom gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Oh, his day is just getting worse and worse after breaking his wing now. Losing that position. Pitting for dries too early and having to box yet again. Only use my dad trying to unlap himself. As Henners gets out of the pits. Way ahead. Goes very deep in this corner. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty here. He'll be safe as he slows it down nice and easy. Hopefully there's a safety car to pick him up very shortly. Looks like there is. James Trotter in P2. Looks like only is my dad still a lap down. Gabe is disqualified from this session for ignoring a yellow flag. Not sure what happened there. Hopefully no one else gets disqualified. Gabe has also retired at the same time. Oh my goodness, who is this? Oh, that is Gabe. Not entirely sure what happened to Gabe. Mechsena gets a drive-through penalty. Oh my goodness, the penalties are stacking up. It's so hard to follow everything that's going on. Romicron in P6 out of the pits now. Way back. Anything can happen in this race. James Trotter on the softs. He may have wanted to opt for the mediums to last to the end, but we'll see what happens. Tiger Racing on the hards as well. I believe Henners is on the ultimate strat here. Once the safety car goes in, those mediums will last till the end easily. Excuse me one sec while I adjust some settings. There we go. So James will have to pit again unless he's using the ultimate strat of waiting for another safety car. There's still one more to be played at least. Looks dry for now. We'll see if the rain does indeed decide to come back. Our driver is still way back, as Only Use My Dad is unable to unlap the safety car at the moment. He'll be a lap down. Well, you know he has the pace for the top 5. Unfortunate to see him down in P15. He'll dive into the pits again, it seems. He might be going to the mediums. Not sure what his tactics are here. He may just be going to the mediums and then hope for another safety car and then to overtake the field under safety car. Not entirely sure what's going on with his race strategy. But for our top 5, it's looking pretty good. Romicron back up into P6. He's looking solid to the end now. Custom back up to P8 after some woes early on. BTFU way down in P13. He'll be looking to make up places early off the start. Eduardo Andretti still on those intermediates. He's got to pit this time. Surely he's not staying on those. He is. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he's got the greatest weatherman in the world and knows that rain is coming shortly after the safety car restart. So we will see. We'll find out. I have absolutely no clue what the weather report was. You guys are enjoying this stream and race so far. Go ahead, leave a like. And if not, let me know what's wrong, so hopefully I can fix it. We had to re-download some software today, so audio levels and video quality may be off. But if not, I'm guessing everything's going swimmingly. Driver's still trying to catch up to the pack. This should be the safety car's last time round, regardless of how far back they are. Looks like he may be staying out yet another lap, so the track can dry just a little bit more now. Kermit starting P5 down in P14 now. Trying to catch this pack. He'll be last place on the restart, but of course Only Use My Dad up in P3, but yet a lap behind. Actually, he did pit for soft, so now he'll be at the back of the grid, or close to the back of the grid. Safety car out, yet for one more lap. We can take a look at our drivers. Just how many positions they gained. P1, Henners, starting from P18 up to P1. James Trotter starting from about P13 up to P2. And Squirmy starting dead last now up to P4. So solid job by him. You watched our Xbox Division 1 race, you see that no matter the amount of stops, many drivers were able to snag some positions up at the top near the end due to safety cars and due to time penalties. So as long as they keep it clean here, should be okay. And Gabe, if you're watching, I absolutely laughed out loud at your comment in the Discord, which I unfortunately cannot say over the air due to its inappropriateness. Looks like we've got the Haas of Eduardo Andretti, who did indeed pit for some dries. Finally figured out it was the best move considering the dry track. Is now catching the back of the pack. Safety car will be coming in this lap. Oh my goodness, did PPR Squirmy spin? He spun. Oh no. Not what you like to see as he backs up and blocks the Renault of Kermit. Not what you want to see. Oh my goodness, they make contact. Squirmy has lost his wing. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there. Squirmy gets a 5-second penalty for colliding with the Renault. That is super unfortunate for him. He now has to go in front as we're about to get underway. I don't think Squirmy understands he needs to be ahead so these guys don't get disqualified. Very unfortunate for the Renault driver, as Henner is now looking to start us off. Not sure how you've been. He pulled a Roman Grosjean, it seemed, as Henners is starting early now. He gets underway, gets a nice start. James Trotter, though, right on the back, though. 5-second penalty for custom as there's a severe collision. Not sure what happened there. He'll be diving to the pits. That's so unfortunate. Meanwhile, the rest of our top 3 pulling away ever so much now. Not entirely sure what happened. Kermit's going to stay out with that broken wing. He's just going to hope for another safety car, perhaps. Max Senna and Racer 33 battling out. Racer 33 pulling ahead now. Max Senna on those hard tires. He'll be looking to get those warmed up. BTFU on the move. Racer 33 going so wide now. May have gotten an illegal overtake. Not sure what happened there. He's going awfully slow. Let's see if he has wing damage. Looks like he does. He's losing his left front end plate, so he's going very slow. James Trotter on the softs right on the back of Henners, looking to make a move. These two just pulling away. Tiger Racing on those hard tires, so he'll be struggling to keep up. We'll see if James Trotter can make a move on Henners. Yellow flag, it seems. Someone may have gone around. Looks like everyone's okay so far. No DRS yet. We'll get that later. Here comes Skyward Atlas up the inside of Enzo. Enzo having to back out now. But we have BTFU and Racer 33 going side by side. Racer 33 with that wing damage going way wide now. BTFU up into P6. He'll be on a charge to try and win this race now. From pole down to almost last. On his way back up. James Trotter on the move now. Trying to get this DRS. Fortunately still not yet active as he cruises in the draft of MRL Henners. Looks like Racer 33 has pit. He's going to indeed change that wing. BTFU now up to P5. Looking solid for a comeback at the moment. 7 seconds down. James Trotter just sitting in the slipstream now of Henners as he tries to set the pace on those medium tires. He'll be hoping to pressure Henners into a mistake before his soft tires run out of life. Kermit up in P6 though. He's opted to stay on track with that broken wing. And this may not be a bad choice as he's looking pretty good right now. We'll see if James Trotter can stay within Henner's slipstream and DRS zone until that DRS becomes active. Screaming down the back straight now. Race 33 has dropped back a little bit. He's gotten overtaken by Custom, who's on those hard tires. He'll defend now against Romicron. So Romicron tries to go around the outside. He does. Race 33 gets a 3-second time penalty from this encounter now. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Oh, taps the inside of Romicron, and he goes round. He'll go round from that contact. Keeps it out of the wall, though. His wing shouldn't be damaged. Reverses back on track. Nice and safely there. Unfortunately, made contact there with Racer 33. As James Trotter, as DRS is enabled, is out of DRS zone now. Unfortunately, unable to keep up. Striffium has that slipstream. BTFU with the fastest lap of the race. He's on a charge to make up some places now. Race 33 with another 3-second time penalty. Not sure what he's doing there. Plenty of penalties to go around. Striffium trying to close in on the hard-running Tiger Racing. Hards are a very hard tire to drive around this track. Skyward Atlas with the fastest lap of the race on the soft tires. So he's on a move as well as Mech Senna opts to pit. The amount of pit stops, ladies and gentlemen, that have gone on this race. Let's take a look. 3 stops, 4 stops, 3 stops, 4 stops, 2 stops. Only the leaders are the ones that have done 1 stop, kept their wings out of the wall so far. Romicron ahead of Custom, who has pit. We'll see where he comes out. Looks like he's coming up to some back markers at the moment. Mech Senna coming out. See if he can make the move now. Mech Senna on those hard tires. This is the battle for P12. Squirmy coming out with a fresh wing. I honestly have no idea who will win this race due to time penalties. I don't believe I've seen James Trotter get a time penalty, and I have seen Henners get a time penalty. So could be looking good for him at the moment. Although James Trotter does have to pit yet again. Another time penalty. Yet again, every time you see a time penalty, take a shot. That's how you enjoy Russia. That's what Russians would do. Make sure it's vodka. Putin will love you. Henners with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:37.4. Pulling ahead now ever so slightly of James Trotter. He's down 2 seconds. Strifium falling back a little bit to Tiger Racing out of that DRS zone. Here comes BTFU now, though, trying to close in on his Renault teammate. Romicron getting past Mech Senna now as they go side by side. Eduardo Andretti gets a time penalty for going in the pit lane. Eduardo Andretti's back in the pits. Skyward Atlas fights back Henner's fastest lap with a 37.4 now. Skyward Atlas is not done yet. Eduardo Andretti getting a wing change, unfortunately, putting on some new softs now. Those softs should last to the end if he stretches them right. Custom around the final corner. We'll see if he can come out ahead of Eduardo Andretti. Mech Senna falling back now to Romicron. Those hard tires, a very slow tire. BTFU has now closed the gap to his teammate by a couple tenths, closing in ever so slightly now. BTFU still definitely on for a podium here. I do believe he has a few time penalties, but we will see what the end holds. I know Tiger Racing, he prevailed in our D1 race for PC as Henners fires back with another fastest lap. He's pulling away from James Trotter now. James Trotter will start to feel the tire deg now, and we'll see Tiger Racing's tires start to kick in, so he may close that gap as BTFU sets his fastest lap. He'll take that crown back. We'll see if Skyward Atlas has to say anything about that. Skyward Atlas doesn't get the fastest lap. He gets another 3-second time penalty. Penalties galore at the moment, as BTFU is well within DRS range of his teammate now. Coming into Sector 2. Right on his tail. They both go wide. Hopefully no warnings there. Only use my dad with the fastest lap with a 36.4. It keeps going down and down. This track is drying. Definitely see the pace increasing now. MRL Henners ahead now. BTFU snipping that corner ever so slightly. Strifium allows BTFU to go by. Some nice little team orders there. They're not wasting any time. They're trying to catch the Ferrari in front and snag a possible double podium. As BTFU soars ahead, Strifium will try and stay within his slipstream. He'll back off and just tuck in behind as Eduardo Andretti. Oh, Strifium gets a 30-second time penalty as well. Hits the grass a little bit. Even if I wasn't even commentating, I could not keep up with these time penalties because there's so many going around. James Trotter hoping for a safety car, something to happen. Oh my God, Strifium is diving to the pits. I'm not sure why exactly. It looks like his wing is intact. I'm very confused as to what he's doing, possibly opting for the softs now. Maybe he thought the mediums couldn't last to the end. And he will be putting on soft tires. He may be opting for that fast lap time. He'll serve a 5-second time penalty, though, which will drop him back quite a bit. Looks like he won't lose out on too many positions, though, as the cars are quite far back. He will have fresh tires now, as BTFU's right on the back of Tiger Racing. Strifium coming out of the pits. Now he's going to be in a battle with Squirmy. These two have collided in the past before. We'll see what happens. Strifium cuts out in front of Squirmy. A bit of a questionable move. Squirmy keeps it out of the back of the McLaren. And we'll look to try and catch him now as these two duke it out. Tiger Racing has been passed by BTFU under that DRS zone. Now he'll try to keep it together with his no penalties on those hard tires. He's doing an excellent job keeping it together so far. James Trotter now opting to pit as he gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He looked like he was going very slow, so that's very unfortunate for him. As BTFU takes back P2, Tiger Racing up into P3. Kermit looking pretty at the moment. He may come out right in front. He's got a broken wing still. Lovely shot, Cody's. Back up into P5 where he started this race. We'll see. He may come out just behind James Trotter now. He will be ahead. We've got a big old pack of drivers down here, all spanning from behind Enzo, the train behind 7th place. Looks like Squirmy may just be out of DRS zone. Now he'll get it. He'll get the DRS, so he'll slowly close in. Looks like Romicron. Our intervals may be messed up. Oh, it's a racing point of only use my dad. Oh no, we don't want this. That's the one we want. Took a while to get there, but we're there. Only use my dad a lap down. Not much to play for at the moment. Custom gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh man, not what you like to see. As he's on those hard tires trying to make up time. Meanwhile, Henner's sitting pretty comfortably out there. 10 seconds ahead of BTFU at the moment. Enzo with a 3-second time penalty. Looks like Squirmy's getting challenged hard now by only use my dad. The back marker. We'll see what he can do to unlap himself. He goes up the inside. Looks like Squirmy will not challenge that. Seems to punt. Only use my dad a little bit. Only use my dad gets wing damage. Squirmy involved in yet another incident. Not something you'd love to see. Romicron now closing that gap heavily. Squirmy will have to pit now. Promoting Romicron up into P10. Strifium with the fastest lap of the race. Squirmy with a time penalty in the pit lane. Race 33 cruising now. Look at that slipstream on the back of Enzo with that DRS. Into turn 2 they go. Squirmy has retired and left the session. He is done now. Out of the points. These three all battling side by side now. Strifium up the inside of Enzo. Gets the move done. He's flying on the softs now. Looking to make up moves as soon as possible. Only use my dad with another time penalty. Race just not going his way today, as these three are now battling it out. Strifium trying to make a move on race 33. Gets a brilliant exit now with that DRS. Surely he can pass him here. Closing into the back of him. Looks to the inside. Switches back to the outside. Switches back to the inside now. Up the inside he goes. Late on the brakes. Race 33 staying on the outside. Strifium, all that grip though. Stays around the outside. Nails the move. Solid job there by him. Race 33 will follow suit now. Trying to keep these mediums up with the softs. He's got plenty of ERS though, so he could look to make a hit back here on this next DRS straight. Strifium with a solid exit though. Not sure if he'll be able to make it happen. BTFU has closed that gap down to P1 by 0.5, so not enough at the moment to possibly make the win. Only right out of a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. He'll have to retire from the session there. Race 33 looking up the inside of Strifium. He will not. Only use my dad out of the session, unfortunately. Had the pace to be on the podium, but nothing went his way at the moment. Race 33 going super wide there, trying to stay with Strifium for as long as possible and use his DRS. Field very spread out now. Looks like, I believe, Henners is closing in on the back. Sorry, he just passed his teammate. He's lapped Custom. Custom, after having a promising qualifying and start to this race, it's not looking pretty as he's now lapped down from his teammate. As this train behind Strifium continues to form. Race 33 trying to stay with Strifium. Enzo staying in the slipstream. Kermit hanging on to that P5 as long as possible with that broken wing. Props to him so far. James Trotter switching those softs again, still staying in P4. We'll see if he can make up any seconds at the moment. Looks like Custom is on those softs, though. He was closing in on his teammate. He does have the pace. We'll see what kind of team orders happen here. Looks like Henners may be backing off. We'll see as he approaches his Williams teammate. Will he unlap himself cleanly? He'll tuck in behind. At this rate, it may be good for Custom to just get in front of his teammate and tow him along on those soft tires using the DRS to pull him away from BTFU. That may be the move that Claire Williams would love to see. Don't know if it'll happen, though. He goes up the inside. Oh, my goodness. Gets the move done. Henners will be right behind now. As Custom sets the fastest lap of the race. Custom will back off now. Not sure what he's doing there exactly. You'd think it'd be better for him to give his teammate the tow and pull away from BTFU. That just slowed Henners down a full second, so BTFU is closing in now. Perhaps they know the time penalty situation, so they're not too worried. As I remember, BTFU did have quite a couple instances of his name popping up the bottom of the screen. Only as my dad is out of here after retiring in the pits. His race is definitely done. Kermit getting approached now by Skyward Atlas right on the back. Kermit on 15-lap old medium, so he's really pushing him now as he'll not defend this one. Up the inside goes Skyward Atlas. They're side by side still. Kermit not giving up yet. He'll push him out. Strifium trying to go up the inside. Backs out now. Kermit staying on the inside now. They're going side by side. Here comes Skyward Atlas up the inside, trying to stay with it. Strifium trying to collect the pieces here. These guys are battling tight now. Skyward Atlas up the inside. Hopefully no contact there. Nothing happening. They're keeping it clean. Kermit goes off the track. Here comes Strifium. Looking to go to the outside. Taps Kermit there. Hopefully no wing damage. Oh, Race 33 capitalizes on that mistake and goes up the inside of Strifium. Here comes Race 33 again now, up the inside of Kermit. He's going to get two positions done in one place. Goes round the outside. And Race 33 is up into P6. He's on a roll now. Strifium with that DRS going to try and catch Kermit. Kermit has it as well, so he will get that nice suck. Oh, a little bit of a lag there. Not sure whose end. Hopefully Strifium didn't see that. That certainly would be scary on his end. Looks like he's keeping his wing under control at the moment. I believe Strifium did get wing damage from that incident with Kermit. So now it's the Renault versus the McLaren, both with opposite end wing damage. Each on different tires. We'll see who can prevail now. Looks like Strifium's got an excellent run on Kermit. Race 33, of course, also looking for a run. As you see him go up the inside of his teammate. Team orders nice and easy. Nothing happening there. Kermit up the inside of, Striffing up the inside of Kermit. Get that move done. The McLaren ahead of the Renault. As this battle continues to go on, Kermit's not done yet. He's gone from P5 to P8 in the span of 2 laps, unfortunately. We'll see what time penalties have to say about that, though, at the end of this race. He drops back quite a bit now. As PTFU's close that gap yet another second. There's 3 laps left in this Grand Prix. Hopefully no safety car here at the end. VSC is the only thing that can really happen now. Race 33 with a 3-second time penalty. Definitely may cost him. He's up in P5, though. Trying to pull away from his teammate, Skyward Atlas. Trying to keep up as well. As Kermit gets passed by Romicron now. Kermit has dropped back quite a lot. He's down in P9. Enzo looking to capitalize as well. Kermit with a 3-second time penalty. Oh my goodness. Around the final corner, see if Kermit can stay ahead and keep that P9. We've got 2 laps left in this race. Looks like Henners is staying just ahead of his teammate. Custom just having a good old time. Hanging back. Slowly driving to the end. He'll be finishing a lap down this race. Kermit dropping back from Romicron. See if he can close. Romicron looking to close in on Striffium and Skyward Atlas with just 2 laps left here. Henners will be crossing the line to start the 26th out of the 27th lap here in Russia at the Sochi Autodrome. Enzo with a solid exit here could have the move done on the Renault driver for P9. Goes up the inside. Ooh, almost makes contact there. Backs off wisely. It goes deep now. They're side by side. Brakes on fire. Oh, as Enzo saves it, almost loses it. Keeps it under control, though. They're still side by side. Going to the final couple corners. Going awfully slow around this corner. It gets the move done. Meanwhile, Micron right on the back of Striffium. Gets a solid exit. Striffium struggling through that final corner. Will have the DRS as well. Striffium does not have the DRS. Oh, he's got this move done before the turn braking zone even starts. Nice and easy there. Romicron up into P7. Striffium not giving up yet. Kermit and Enzo battling it out yet again. Kermit up the inside. Enzo coming back up around the outside through the left-hander. They're going to go side by side. Looks like Kermit's got the edge, though, at the moment. Custom, meanwhile, on the back of Eduardo Andretti, who decides to box on the second to last lap. No, he doesn't. He just gets out of the way for the blue flagger. Custom up into P12 now. Micron looking to get these couple last points finishes. Meanwhile, James Trotter in P4 cruising. Not too bad of a race. Same with Tiger Racing in no man's land at the moment. Looking to pretty much secure P3. We'll see if he can possibly opt for the win here, as I know there's some time penalties afoot. They may have to be quite a lot, though, as we see Romicron and Skyward Atlas fighting it out. BTF gets another 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial for his win here. Romicron up into P6. Skyward Atlas down to P7. Enzo and Kermit still battling it out. Enzo getting ahead, though. Nice and easy. As the sun is shining here now in Sochi. We're on lap 27 out of 27. All to play for at the moment for these final points positions. Barring any time penalties. As now we have Mech Senna on the back looking for the final overtake into that points position. We'll see if he can do anything. He's been on those hard tires for 18 laps. Tiger Racing on those hard tires for 17 laps. These guys stretching it to the absolute maximum. Here he comes, though, through the left-hander. Does he have the pace? Kermit, of course, with that wing damage. We'll see what can happen. He'll have to back out now. Could look for a move, but here we have Henner's rounding the final corner. He may win the Grand Prix. We'll see as he crosses the line. BTFU will have plenty of penalties stacked up. We'll see what happens. He'll go P2. Tiger Racing, though, at the moment, I don't believe has any penalties, so we'll see what happens exactly. He's 17 seconds back. Henner's so far winning this Grand Prix. I believe he has it starting from, I believe, dead last on the grid. Comes home to win it. Tiger Racing across the line. He'll come home P3. James Trotter rounding the final corner. We'll see if anyone else is challenging for the points positions. Meanwhile, Max Senna trying to make some move on Kermit. Looks like he won't make it happen. Here comes James Trotter coming home P4. Excellent race by him. His first race, I believe, in D2. Looks like James Trotter gets a 5-second penalty for unserved stop and go. Race 33 across the line. Goes P5, race 33, dropping back. We'll see if he drops back any further from his teammate. He does not. Shift him up to P6 there due to time penalties. So we have Kermit and Max Senna coming up to the line. We'll see who wins on time penalties. Not entirely sure what happened there. Max Senna goes P8 at the end, so snags a couple of points right at the end. Solid job there. There you have it. Henners wins this race, this hectic race. Gets the top step of the podium, well deserved. Drove solidly throughout. BTFU, solid comeback drive, starting on pole, dropping to near last, coming all the way back. And of course, P3, Tiger Racing, a well-deserved podium after a solid week here in PPR, getting P6 in Division 1 and P3 in Division 2. There you have it, folks. Our final standings. Henners on top, going P19 to P1. BTFU going P1 to P19 to P2. Tiger Racing going from P9 to P1 without any penalties. James Trotter going from P15 to P4. Solid race there. Romicron in P6. Striffium in, Romicron P5. Striffium in P6. Race 33 in P7. Max Senna in P8. Skyward Atlas in P9. Enzo in P10, snagging that final point. Kermit dropping back due to time penalties, 11 seconds there. Custom down in P12, unfortunately, lap down. Eduardo Andretti in P13, and our DNFers who were unable to cross the line at the end of the race. There you have it, folks. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can get some interviews here started out, because we finally finished a race in D2. I'm pretty proud of it. Just one moment while we try and sort this out. Do not have our intermission slide up, so we're going to toss this up at the moment. Crazy race nonetheless. As unfortunately, Henners cannot join us in the commentary booth for his post-race interview. We'll see if we can get P3 of Tiger Racing in here, as he may be starting to join here. But for now, we'll join our P2 finisher, BTFU. Solid race, my man. Started on pole and had a little trouble there, but luckily safety cars and prevailing strategy turned out. How was that entire race for you?
It's definitely a roller coaster, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Getting involved in the turn 1 crash and fighting through the rain and eventually going dry, and it's an eventful race for sure, but happy to get back up there and finish second.
Yeah, man, it was a solid drive to see. Seeing you back down there, unfortunately, you and Custom dropped back huge, unfortunately. But seeing you able to make it back to the top was pretty nice, and you fought through the field, kept your wing undamaged. How many time penalties did you have there at the end?
I only had 3 seconds, but unfortunately from that first lap incident, I ended up getting 2 5-second penalties, so I had to both serve those in the pits. But ultimately, just only the 3-second on the last lap.
Yeah, so that was pretty solid for the most part. Time penalties are huge here, so you kept it nice and safe. Solid drive, man. Congrats on that podium. You are definitely killing it in the championship standings at the moment. I believe you extended your lead, possibly even further. So congrats,
Yeah,
man. We'll see
thank
you
you, man.
next week.
Appreciate it. See you next week.
I believe that's all we have. Our other podium finishers could not make it, but driver of the day has got to be Henners. He kept it clean, although BTFU did do the same thing as Henners after starting on pole, dropping back to last place. So plenty of drivers to obtain driver of the day today, but all of them did a solid job. And congrats to our podium finishers who made it all the way to the end. I'm gonna go ahead and play y'all out. It's been a solid race. We don't have our ending graphic either. I literally just downloaded OBS right before this due to PC issues. But anyways, appreciate y'all. Catch you next time. Leave a like if you liked it. This has been PPR.